What's up, guys? I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning. Let's get this day started. I know I kind of hopped on just a few minutes late. Kind of just got zoned in. I was looking at the charts, just analyzing some stuff. But yeah, let's get this day started. What's up, Chuck? Yeah, man. In this market, my main plan for every day is just gonna be to, just follow the algo and run it through because you guys seen the results from like the back testing and everything, and when I take the big plays, like it's better than Chuck, yesterday we didn't actually take a trade because the market was just weird. It didn't match any of our setups. So I personally didn't get in any trades, so didn't make anything, didn't lose anything, but hey, like some days that's gonna happen, right? Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Mustafa. Glad you guys are all here. But yeah, I mean, we're still holding underneath that 200 EMA right now. You guys know how much I love that. Again, those key levels, we bounced off of it overnight. Both of them from top to bottom, and now we're kind of reversing up, but we'll see how it holds because we might end up because delta didn't break above either, so that's also another thing to pay attention to. Up and handle forming in the 1 hour. Okay, definitely have a look out on that. But I think, I don't know, since we just the tech stuff just kind of popped off, they might just need a little bit of a cooling period, maybe just for a day, and then they can continue. But that's why I'm trying to see how the market wants to react this morning. Yeah, 200 EMA and our support and resistance level right there. So it's like, obviously, we're going to see some fluctuation happen. Good morning, Sergio. I mean, if we can make a nice move, like if the morning session, like at the open, right? If we can hold a nice position to the downside, that could present a good opportunity to short. Volume's a bit lower today, guys. I'm looking at the dome and how orders are piling up. Nothing crazy. Like lower than normal. Morning, Enzo. Let's see. If you guys are trading crude oil pretty much just popped off. NQ gave us a little bit of a sell signal right before market open at 925 on the 5-minute candles. Yes, didn't give us that sell signal just yet, but we might end up getting it. Morning, Mandich. Yeah, man, adapting to this market has been quite the interesting experience. That's why I kind of stopped scalping for the past couple of days, just because like I've been saying, like it's not worth it for me at the moment. Because to get like that 1 point, if I'm trying to risk that 3 points, it's really not worth it. But overall, going for my algo alerts, having that risk reward measured out, measured moves, love that. Then I just have to wait it out. Yesterday there was an alert, but that was after I stepped away from my desk. And that kind of just worked out beautifully. Well, not per se, just because what happened was it gave us the alert, which is the right direction, everything. It just took a while for the price to hit it. Because I usually try to enter on the next two candles, because if not, then the momentum's kind of gone. But overall, it held. It kind of just kept going short. So that was interesting to see. Black gold rising, okay. Yeah, I think we will be chilling around 3,500. That is like a pretty important level. A lot of people just have that psych level of that whole number, right? 3,500, 3,600, 3,400. That's when we always see that resistance. Only the first time we touch it, and like after a while, right? If it's just gonna be back and forth all the time there, then it gets weaker and weaker. But if it touches it and tries to bounce off it, that's when we know it's acting as a strong level. Now we're just moving in the other direction now, so let's see. We might get some chop again. And if that's gonna be the case, like I will not be trading the chop. I'm over that. And I hate it, man. Nice little candlestick pattern forming though. Bullish engulfing. We might be able to push higher. That'd be interesting to see. Because we had another bullish engulfing back here on the regular candlesticks, right? Not this is the Heikin but I'm also like looking at my other chart. Bullish engulfing happening right now. That'll be interesting. That's something I wouldn't mind like going for a scalp on. But that's where price kind of reversed before as well, so that's kind of interesting. NQ starting to pump up a little bit. You're trading candles without the wicks? That's interesting. I prefer having the wicks just because it tells you like where the price actually, got up to, came back from. Tells you where the seller stepped in. Or the buyers, depending on which side we're looking at, right? You like to clean up your chart? Okay, I guess to each their own, right? But yeah, T Flynn, I do agree with you. I believe wicks are super important. I look at them all the time. That tells me where price is being, where sellers were stepping in or buyers were stepping in, and it tells you exactly where you should be going towards or just, hold back. All right, if you're a price action trader, you definitely need the wicks, that's for sure. But I guess if you're like swing trading like the higher time frames, I guess it won't make too big of a difference. But I've never taken the wicks off of my chart. I don't plan on to. No, you like using the line chart too. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't really met traders using a line chart, to be honest, man. Robinhood traders use the line, but Robinhood traders don't really trade though. They're guessing. It's just betting at that point. Most of them, right? Some of them do trade, yes, but they always have their other charting platform if they're a real trader. At least use TradingView, right? I see a lot of them use TradingView and then enter their positions on Robinhood. Okay, that's one thing, but if you're simply depending on Robinhood to like make a trade, that means you're just treating it like DraftKings or any other betting site that you're betting on stocks. You're using bands and waiting it to touch it align is good enough. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, you do use like the Kentler channels, right? So I guess that would work. But for me, I usually enter at candle close and above that candle high just to avoid double top scenarios. So it's like, for me, I would need the wicks. But hey, man, there's a lot of ways to make money in the markets, right? That's why all those things are out there. There's like the Renkos, there's like all the different type of candlesticks as well. You have the line, the area, the baseline, the line break, the Kagi, point and figure. Point and figure just confused me, man. I don't understand that thing. Like when I pull up the point and figure, it just looks like the NFL like draft playbook. Yeah, man, that $5 gold membership is what everybody's waiting for, right? Yeah, man, if something's working for you, definitely use it. I'm never one to like question something like that. Like if it's been working for you, props to you and keep doing it. Yeah, we are just kind of popping off right now. Okay. I mean, yeah, if it doesn't fit your parameters for entry, then don't enter it. For me, I personally just trade between 8 and 12. And if I get an alert, then I'll take it. If not, then I won't. It's like you end up catching some big moves just by doing that. And some days you don't catch any moves, some days you do. And that's just the way it is. You also trade on head when shorting? I think you meant in my head, maybe? Let's see if we bounces how it holds up against this key level, right? We bounced off it pretty much overnight. We'll see if we can bounce off it again. We have some sellers piling up near there, but not too many. Just fix my tick chart real quick. That's kind of annoying that it keeps going to the top. Let's see. Just touched our key level. We might be able to break through it. Because if we look at it, right, overnight, bounced off it once, bounced off it twice, bounced off it the third time. Fourth time, might just end up breaking through. That's how levels usually work, so. But yeah, crude oil has been popping off, guys. That's kind of crazy. Wish I kind of caught that move. I've just been hesitant with crude oil. That's the only thing. It has burned me in the past. That's why I've just been more careful with it. But it seems like the movements now are very nice. If we could get a full reversal at this level, that would be a nice area for a short. Because NQ is getting weaker, but ES is starting to push now, which is interesting. And if you guys went for that Delta scalp that we used to talk about at one point, you know, after the flip, boom, would have got it. I think that happened to a good amount of people because I did read some stories where a lot of people got into it because they saw the excitement in it and like crude oil price popping off, but then they didn't really understand what futures were. And they didn't understand that if you don't sell it, you're kind of stuck with an actual object. And I think that that was a good lesson for them. That's why you got to educate yourself before you do something, right? It's funny because even when the crude oil went negative, me and my friend were just talking about it. It's like, what if we just buy some up and then we keep it? But I was like, dude, like, where would we store it? Like, he was so excited to like, dude, we can make so much money just off like oil. I'm like, dude, we need a place to store it too, and shipping and tracking, like all this stuff. I mean, you could use it for gas, right? Start his own gas company, open up a gas station. Klein Franklin, what do you mean by you don't take the trade? I'm not in a trade right now, or I don't know if you were mentioning to me or just the chat. Would make more sense to just buy up the contract when it was that low. I mean, the thing was, yeah, they were low, but then it's also the fact that they're gonna expire very soon before it happened, right? That was a big issue. So a lot of people did get stuck. I mean, for those people that actually have, you know, oil companies and everything, that worked out well for them. But for everyone else, any retail trader should not be letting a future expire to begin with. If you're a retail trader, that's rule number one of trading futures. You're never in something till expiry. I mean, if you're a retail trader still, you'd be on the hook for it if you let it expire. You have to understand futures contract, right? There's a reason why they call it contracts. No, you'd have to pay them to hold it. I'm pretty sure when I was reading about it, it was that if you let it expire, like they have it in containers and like places where they hold it, right? Obviously. And then they would contact you and they'd be like, hey, like what are you going to do with this and everything? Would you picking it? Are you going to be picking this up, or what's happening? And then from there, you know, they have to come pick it up, maybe ship it out to somewhere, or move it to their own location, or do something with it. If not, I think they might. I think nowadays they might be able to let you sell it back to them, but I don't think they give you good money for it. If you guys are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button and do hit that like button. Make it blue. Help me with that YouTube algorithms. Really trying to grow this channel. We're at 107 subscribers. I think we can get to 200 pretty soon. Once we pick up that momentum, we should be good. Yeah, Chuck, subs are slowly going up. I like seeing that too. I'm happy that people like watching me and like I can help them out. I still have to make more videos about just explaining future and like all these other things. I kind of just been pushing it off. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I know Matt streams and there's a lot of people that watch him. That's good for him, man. Happy for him. I think with him, like, I watched a few of his videos. His drawdown really, like, just kind of unattracted me to it just because it was like, oh, yeah, it's like, that's just, I don't know. For some reason, that trading style just doesn't fit with me, right? Oh, you you watch him when you sign off? Okay. Yeah, he does go for those scalps, but then he has that drawdown, which gets me. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're scalping, your drawdown should be limited. But hey, to each their own. For me, like, I've just been sitting now and just waiting for my algo alerts, just going for those because I've shown you guys the results. I'll pull them up again. Like, if you guys stick to the plan with the algo, it makes good money just trading 2 contracts. You watch both me and Matt? Okay. That's good, man. I'm happy you're learning, T. Flynn. That's why I started this, man. I just wanted to help some people out, meet some new people, build a nice little community. He just got his funded back. That's great, man. Happy to hear that. Can I explain what my algo does? Yeah, for sure, man. I love that explaining that. Let me just see what else these guys are saying. Shorting. So, Jeff, let me just pull up my chart and then I will explain what the algo does. So pretty much, this is pretty much just the example from the overnight session. You guys can see the date right at the bottom. It says October 14th. I don't have to handpick these or anything. These things come all the time. Pretty much the algo is a combination of multiple different things. You know, Fibonacci's, your multiple EMAs, like a lot of different things, and then combined into one to find a pre-momentum entry point so that you can catch the big move, right? That's why you always get these alerts right before a nice little move happens. And with the algo, what happens is it will tell you exactly where to put your stop loss and your take profits, right? So obviously, since charts have been moving, the lines got moved to the right a little bit, but that's just because until a new alert pops up, the lines will stay there. But you can always turn that off in the settings. And then, yeah, anytime a new alert pops on, these lines disappear, make the new ones. But overall, what you want to do is you want to get in 1 tick higher just to avoid double tops. I give you guys like all the rules that I use. And that would be the entry point at 35, 15, 25. And then once it hits level 1, you move your, your stop loss off to break even, and then you're riding it out to level 2 and level 3. Every time it hits a new level, you're moving your stop up, and then you're just following that system. And that way you're catching the whole big move when it happens. But then say things get choppy, you still walk away with a profit, because say it hits level 2 and you moved your, your stop loss to level 1, you're still in profit, but you're just riding it out to level 3. Risk management is a very big thing for me. That's why I built this system out using risk management in place. So if you measure it out, right, you'll always have a positive risk to reward ratio when you're trading. It's like when you first start out, you're having a 2.07, right? Then once you start moving it up, guess what? Your risk to reward really goes away after you hit level 1. And level 1 usually gets hit very quickly most of the times. There are some times where it takes a little bit more time, but again, the market's right. You can't control it every time. But that's the overall gist of how everything works. A good amount of people have started using the algo. They've signed up and they have been seeing some good results. I got some thank yous from them, and I'm so happy to hear that from them. Because I know like 2 people are using it for just using to pass the top step combine, and they're doing good progress right now. Yeah, origin code, I was able to get the top step funded account. That's what I've been trading on every day. Yeah, Chuck, I'm with you, man. We're all traders. I wish everybody the best. That's why you always see me like I really hope that everyone makes a profit. Yeah, Dragon, you have a good point as well, because like not every single strategy is meant for every single person, right? They have different personalities. Some people love scalping and they just want to do that. And I like going for these bigger moves and avoiding these scalps, especially in this market. I used to scalp a good amount before, but in this market, I just stick it out with my algo and I catch these moves, right? Because even if you traded the overnight session and you caught this move, that was a nice 7.25 points. And if I always trade 2 contracts, so that's 725 or $700, right? After, commissions and all of that nonsense. But yeah, guys, if you want a free trial or anything like that, let me know. I'm more than happy to set it up for you guys. All I need is your TradingView username. I have set up the free trial for a lot of people and they love it. This is more of a patient system where it's like you don't trade like a crazy amount. You could if you drop it down on the time frames. But yeah. Have I tested it for the NQ? Yeah, dude, it works exactly the same. Thing is, NQ, you're gonna catch some bigger moves, but again, be ready for that drawdown in NQ because they move fast. Yeah, Mandich, a lot of people have been using the algo to pass the top step combine. That's what they've been telling me, and they said that they've been making good progress, so I'm happy for them, man. NQ is good for scalping if you're going for, because there's a lot of people that really only go for those 2 points on the NQ because it's rapid and they can just get in and out and they get filled before they enter, like right when they enter. And the thing with NQ is it makes smoother movements where it's like nice wave patterns, right? ES sometimes can get a bit more out of that wave and get choppy sometimes, but NQ definitely has that potential. But NQ also has that risk side where it's like everything's so rapid that sometimes you miss something. Mandich, I got the 50K account. That's what I did. What I initially did was actually I signed up for that 30K account that they had just because I was like, oh, let me just try it out. And then I passed that, and then I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense because I can't really trade too much on it, and it was like restricting. So I had to restart and then do the 50K. And then once I got the 50K, ever since then, I kind of just been trading on that. Because for me, I just felt like for my trading style, 50K was just better for me because I had that bit more, a little bit more room in that drawdown sense. Because I think on the 30K, it was like only 500. And for the goals that I was having, where I was trying to make like 750, 1500 in a day, I needed to give it a little bit more of a drawdown. I mean, I could start the 75K account. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I'll just add another contract, right? Can you remember the drawdown on the 50K account? Yeah, the 50K account is 1,000 per day and in the overall week as well. But I think when you're starting out, 50K is probably the best one in my opinion, because that fit my profile properly. Because I was like, I didn't want to risk too much. I didn't want to just, trade 1-2 contracts and get in, get out. And having that 1K of drawdown was more than enough because I never really end up hitting that 1K of drawdown. What is the max drawdown per account? So I think, here, let me just pull it up. I think I'd rather just give you more accurate results. Step. Okay, so I have it up right now. 30K account is the total max drawdown. Daily loss limit is 500, and then the total drawdown for the week, or the account for the 30K is 1500. And then for the 50K account, your daily loss limit is 1000. Your weekly loss limit is 1000, and then the max you're allowed to lose in your account is 2000. And for the 100K account, let's see, it says daily loss limit's 2000, weekly loss limit's 2000, and your max drawdown for your whole account can be 3000. And for the 150K account, it's 3000 for the daily loss limit. Weekly loss limit's the same, 3000, and the max you can lose on the account is 4500. The one reason I like Top Step is just because they help traders really understand money management and risk management. Because when you are so limited to your capital, because you can't hit that, right? Because then you blow your account up. So it's like you really have to think like, hey, is this the right move? Or am I just guessing and am I just trading just because it's fun, right? So once people I noticed is people blow through one account, then they're like, oh, I gotta understand risk management. And then they start making progress. And that's why I kind of like Top Step, because like I was focused on risk management, and that's why the system has worked for me pretty well. You know what, Enzo, I will sign up for their affiliate thing today, and then I will get a link and I will send it to you personally, and then I'll add it to the YouTube description as well, starting tomorrow. So thank you for that reminder. Let me put that down on my phone because you did ask me before. I apologize for that. I did forget. Let me just make a reminder real quick. And to the question where how long does it take? It depends on the trader, but sometimes it can take a month, sometimes it can take 2 months. but I don't think it normally takes more than that. It really depends on how disciplined you can be. Because if you think about it, if you go for the 50K account and you're just like, you have to make the $3,000 a profit, right? You have to do that twice. So let me just pull up the calculator and then show you guys simple math, right? It's the market, you know, it's just jumping them back and forth right now. So we have time to talk. So 3,000, and let's say you wanted to do it in like 15 trading days, right? You just have to get 200 a day. And you use the algo, you're going to get those days where you're making like 700, 1,000 if you stick it through, right? Like you can either use that method, or if you're scalping, obviously you're getting $200 a day. If you're trading 2 contracts with the regular ES contracts, that's just 2 points. So that is something you can do. When I suggest people doing the top step is, if they're really starting out and they just want to test things out, just go for those small moves every time, those guaranteed moves, and then stick it through. Just follow that strategy, build your account up, pass the combine, and then grow your account in after you pass, and then start like using your bigger strategies and like being able to hold it out, right? When you're just trying to pass the combine, the easiest thing to do is just go for these quick 200 a day or 300 a day and then be done. And you could honestly just do that with, you know, the Delta scalps or anything like that. So you can, ideally, you could have it done in 30 trading days. It just it comes down to how much discipline you can have and how well you can maintain it. So Jim, the 100K account will cost you $375 a month until you pass it. You can sign up for it at any time, right? If you want to do spend $375 a month for it and you want to do it, go for it. That's up to you. So the way Top Step works is, if you pass their combine, they'll fund you. That's their policy. As long as you don't break any of the rules that they have in place and you pass, you're good. You glad you would have stuck to your rules? You would have got stopped out? That's good, man. I'm glad you didn't take a loss today, Chuck. That would not be fun. But yeah, the Top Step, it's the monthly price for the 30K is 150, 50K is 165, and 100K is 325. 150K account is 375 per month. How many contracts can you trade on the 50K account? The 50K account, you can get up to 5 contracts, but you do have to make the first 1,500 first until you can trade 3 contracts and more. They make you scale up. So they make you make 1,500 first, and then after you make the 1,500, they let you do like more than 2 contracts. If you haven't made 1,500 in profit yet, you can only trade 2 contracts. Yeah, dude, 5 contracts is more than enough. Like, but the thing is, like, with their drawdown, and if you're going for like bigger plays, like, I feel like 2 to 3 contracts is the best. I used to trade 3 contracts, but I kind of just toned it down. Nah, Chuck, don't say that, man. Like, it's good to get up there, but for me though, it's like, if I want to trade more contracts, I have to have like an X amount of money made in the market and reserved for that, because that means I'm increasing my risk tolerance as well. So I need to be able to have enough capital to manage that. Because like on the 100K account, you can trade up to 10 contracts. On the 150K account, you can trade 15 contracts. And I'm like, that's really not necessary. So the thing is, having those contracts is super nice if you know you're going for a good scalp. Because if you think about it, right? Say you're trading 5 contracts and you're going for that 1 point scalp. Guess what? That's 500, but you have to understand, where's your risk? How much are you risking for that? Right? Even in the 50K account, say you were risking like, I don't know, 3 points. 3 points to make 1 point scalp, but that's not really good. I've done that in the past, but that's because I know it's like going up. It's in a nice move. But like, you would hit that drawdown pretty quick. What about trading micros on the 50K account? You're allowed to trade micros on the 50K account, but obviously it's going to take you a longer time to, you know, reach that profit potential. Oh, so how many contracts? How many contract for micros? The contracts is the same. You'd only get to trade with 2 micro contracts until you make the first 1500, and then after the first 1500 is made, that's when you can go up like up to 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but it is what it is. That's their rule. You would think with micros that they would allow you to do something else, but hey, I guess they get to pick the rules. It's their company. Yeah, it would take a while with 2 micros, but here's the thing, guys. Like, if you're trading with their money, right? Trade the regular contract. Start off with 1 contract. NQ is pretty much selling off a little bit. Trying to see if I can catch a move, man. I'm honestly just waiting for one of my alerts to come, because then it's just like I take that one trade, get that profit, and I'm done. I mean, the ES, it just bounced off of our key level right now. Like, hit it perfectly, right? That's what I was talking about. Bounced off, coming down again. It's not a crash, that's for sure. Like, it's just still kind of range in this little range, right? So I saw a quote like the other day on like Instagram, like something about traders, right? It's like this guy was just like said, what did he say? It's like don't consider yourself a real trader if you're not gonna wait for your setup to come, because like at the end of the day, like that's the most important part about trading. I really forgot exactly what he said. I think he worded it much better, but like he was like pissed that a lot of people are just calling themselves traders and everything when they really weren't. And it was just like, yeah, you're not a real trader unless you wait for your setup to come to you. If you're chasing for your setup, you're not gonna make money in the markets. It might be a rotation, could be. If we end up in this range and come back down here again, that would be a nice range situation. Yeah, man. Dragon, there's traders and there's gamblers, and I think that's the biggest thing that newer traders don't understand, right? Because they think that they're a trader because they just give themselves that name. It's just like the same thing when every single high schooler says, "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur because I put it in my LinkedIn bio." You're not an entrepreneur if all you're doing is worrying about how to go to gym class. Like, relax. But yeah, you need to get the feeling over that feeling that you always have to have in trade. Yeah, man, that's the one of the biggest things I did, because like when I first started trading, I was like, oh, I have to get in on this. I was chasing, and I was like, oh, like I realized like I was chasing. I stopped that, and I was like, okay, let me do something else. I was trying to scalp more and scalp more. I was working out, but then I realized, okay, risk to reward comes in, and I was like learning, and that's like the biggest thing, right? Understanding what's happening and understanding how you're performing is super important, and that's why I say a trading journal is required. and like go through your previous trades, put them on the chart again, and see how you're doing. Yeah, man, Chuck, that is the biggest thing, right? That a lot of people struggle with. And sometimes I struggle with too. I never said I'm perfect. I'm just a normal guy. I'm just making money with trades, right? It's like you have to learn to walk away. Like it's so much it's so important to like be able to sit on the sideline and just, relax. And honestly, I was thinking about this like yesterday. I was like, what if people started trading in the sense that today would be the last day of trading for them? Like, I think that would really put in more perspective and saying, hey, if today's my last day, I'm going to perform the best I can. It's like when you have like any type of championship, right? In sports, NBA finals, you go in, you're prepared. You're gonna wait for your shot to come up. You're gonna wait for your play to make your move. You're not just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna take the ball and do whatever I want. That's not the way it works. It's structured, there's a plan, and you stick it through. And that's the same thing you have to do with trading every single day. Yeah, and less losses equals more profit. A lot of people do forced trades, man, because they get bored, to be honest. And like if you watch like one of the first streams I was doing on YouTube, it was only a month and a half ago, right? I had that pressure. I was like, oh, I knew people were watching me and everything, and that was something I had to get over. Because I was taking some trades that normally, when if I was sitting by myself, I probably wouldn't have. Because like normally I would just be waiting for my algo alerts, get them in, be done, and walk away. But then I started scalping more, and I started doing this, and I was like, okay, like. And then I realized I was like looking back, like, what the heck am I doing wrong to me, like to decrease my performance this month? And I was like, oh, okay. More trades were more scalp plays, and they weren't working out. That's why I kind of been limiting the scalp plays I get in on. Jim, are you talking about these yellow lines? So these yellow lines are support and resistance lines, and essentially I kind of just use them as key levels where I should be entering or not entering. Because like say if I'm getting a nice alert at the top of this, I'd be more hesitant towards it. But what I normally do is I go for quick scalps on the first test off these lines. Most of the time it's been happening overnight, so I don't catch them. But for example, the first test here would have been right here, right? And I'd just go for a quick 1 point bounce play off of that. So from like 35, 1875 to 1775, right? That's quick 1 point right there. And then another bounce right here, another 1 point. And then I don't really go for the second test or anything like that. I stick to the first test, and here, just bounce off again. So it's like if you only went for the first test right here, you would have made 3 points, right? But then if there's a day where I see like, okay, good market sentiment happening and everything, and I see, okay, we hit this level, more things are piling up, and I see a nice reversal candle pop up, I might get in long, and I try to hold it off to the next level. Yeah, about like 90% of the time, the first test of support and resistance always has that bounce. Yeah, you can make a strategy just off that, but it's just like, so the middle orange line is kind of just your pivot line, essentially. So it's like, it's where price is going to be bouncing back and forth between. So it acts as another key support, right? But here you guys can see it's like it bounced back and forth here a lot, and it does that at least once per day. So that's where price, high volume might be conducted, or most of the times like the high volume node of the day will be there at some point. and that's when you'll see a little bit of a chop there. But again, if it didn't touch the orange line either, I use it the same way, right? Come down, take that bounce, go right back up. Right now we are getting some nice selling pressure. I was actually thinking, like, because I got distracted when I was talking, but my plan was I would have entered on this candle. It was a nice strong candle. We had the delta to support it. It was a nice reversal. So let's see how this candle closes, because an alert is forming. I might be getting in if the sellers can support it. Good morning, Yolsties. Talking about the 1 hour? Okay, let me check it out. So the 1 hour on the NQ, we're still in that range situation, right? That we talked about on what, the other day, Monday? Yeah, it's just been in that range bound situation. If you pull up the 1 hour chart, you can easily tell that, hey, stuff is range bound at the moment. And I'll show you how it works on, let me just check this real quick, 1 second. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the NQ chart as well. Just give me a second. I'm seeing if this candle would be a nice entry candle for me or not. Measuring it out, because if it is over 10 points, I will probably ignore that candle. $9.25 right now. Yeah, same, Chuck. There are some moves that happen in after hours, right? But it's something it's like I personally don't like, so that's why I personally stay out of it. Some people love that overnight session because it's low volume and they can have like slower moves. For me, I like, nice simple moves that happen pretty quickly in the morning session, because I don't want to be stuck in front of my desk 24/7, right? Yeah, this is just going down. This alert was, it's 10 candles exactly. Sorry, 10 points exactly. That's one of my rules. Like if it's over 10, then I don't get in. Let's see. Anytime it drops more than 10 points in one candle, I have seen the trend where it just kind of pumps right back up a little bit. So that's my only concern. So what I might do is let it break through, see if it can pull back, and then enter second time. Oh, that's dope, Chuck. I mean, if you ever want me to test it out and let you know what I think about it, more than happy to help. Yeah, we got that alert from the algo right here on this candle, but it is a big candle, and that risk profile, that's where, you know, money management skills come in, right? And if I do get in on this one, I'm just gonna do one contract because sometimes these don't work out, especially when it's over 10 points. So it's like that's my main thing. I mean, bot trading is nice. It's something I am trying to figure out, but yeah, this one might just push right through. So we'll see what happens, guys. But again, NQ got that alert first, right? NQ 10:05, 5-minute charts. Hit that take profit level 1, hit that take profit level 2 just now. Take profit level 3 is at 12:05, and obviously the way this system would work is, again, let me just draw it out, short position. Once it, you know, your overall risk to reward 2.09 for this one, and once it hits level 1, you move it up to break even, and you just kind of let it ride it out, right? And now is where you can decide. It's like, hey, do I want to leave a break even and go to level 3, or do I just want to move it to level 1, secure profit in, and then just try to go for level 3, right? Because with these level take profit levels, they most times act as levels where price bounce off as well. So that's one of the things to remember. Like, say you only went for take profit level 1, that's still 30 points. Is it? Wait. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's 30 points for take profit level 1. Take profit level 2 was 59.5 points, and take profit level 3 was about like 89.75 points. Are they on Fiverr? I didn't know that. No, for this strategy, I think it's better to have like manual entries because sometimes it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's better. But I think for a different strategy I've been working on for a while, that one I might make it into a scout bot. So that's something I will look into. Have you used it, Chuck? Do you know any coders that do that on Fiverr? Because if you have like a good recommendation, I wouldn't mind checking them out. Use it for your algo, but not for a trading bot. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I'll find somebody. There's a lot of people out there. I just didn't know Fiverr was the place for it because I was just looking online, but it's hard to tell which one's a good one, which one's just trying to BS me, right? Fiverr at least has some review stuff, so I'll check it out. It really is. Fiverr is good with their business, but their customer service and the way they act on stuff, I don't like it. I've dealt with them before. I had like an issue where I asked somebody to design something for me, like a simple logos stuff, but then and they're like, oh no, it's like oh you only had like this 24 hours to like dispute it. I'm like, dude, I didn't even look at my email that day. Like, you can't expect me to do that. So like I'm not a fan of their customer service or the way that they handle it. That's for sure. And there's a lot of people on there that don't really provide you with quality stuff. It's just like, oh, here, let me just copy paste this from somewhere and then give it to you. There's a good amount of people like that on there. That's something I that's why I'm careful with it. But yeah, I wish if I got in on my entry on this candle right here, like I was planning, if I didn't get distracted, then yeah, this would have been nice. Because that's something you can go for off the key levels, right? When it makes a big move and you see a strong indication, you can honestly just wait for the delta to tell you. Like here, right? Bounced off completely, came down to our key level. Nice buying support, nice buying delta coming in. And if you just got in here and held and made your stop loss would be at the resistance level, and that would be it. Boom. You could have got a nice move. Yikes, my bad. But yeah, you can use the delta in that way as well to tell you which indication's coming up, right? Oh, you create YouTube subscribe buttons on Fiverr? Oh, that's dope. And yeah, this was exactly why I don't like getting in on alerts that are over 10 points, just because when it's a massive drop like that, buyers tend to step in to even things out, and then stuff can get a little choppy before it tries to push back up, right? So I'm very happy that I stayed out of this and just followed my rule. You're all good, Jason. But yeah, overall, I think today's just gonna be another patient day. Just, gotta exercise our patience today and just wait it out. Just wait for that A plus setup. That's the ones I like getting in on. Can you point out the delta or volume that signal the reversal at the yellow line thing? Yeah, sure, Jim. You got it. So for example, the example I was talking about before, right? So as you guys know, I personally use Heikinashi's. One, it confirms the trend reversal. If it happens, that's when, bar colors change. So here, the delta, I'll make it bigger so you guys can see. We bounced right off our key level. We let it, bounce off, and then we see that selling pressure follow through, and then boom, nice doji candle. That's one indication. Two, nice Heikin candle pop up. The second indication. Third, delta bar, this green bar right here. So that's just multiple indications. Like, hey, that's a good reversal to get in on because you have three things telling you the same thing. So did that make sense, Jim? Because it's very simple to understand where, you know, where that reversal would indicate. Same thing here, right? For this one, bounced off our key level here. Hikanashi candle coming in, little spinning top formation. Nice, solid Hikanashi candle to the downside. And then we also had the delta telling us, hey, sellers were stepping in. So yeah, let me just go by your questions one by one. Okay, what kind of stops do you have in your algo? Do you use a fixed amount, or do you set the stop around a previous peak or bottom? So with the stops for the algo, right? It's all measured moves. It's never a fixed amount, right? Because I'm never trading saying like, oh, I'm only gonna risk 2 points. Because that's not the proper way. If you're going for a scalp, maybe that's okay. But if you're trying to catch bigger moves, you have to place the stops in the right areas. And that's what the algo does. It pretty much shows you where your stops should be as well. It shows you your stops, it shows you your take profits, right? The white line is your entry line, the green lines are your take profits, and the red lines are where you can place your stop losses. So it's always measured out. This will automatically pop up every time you get an alert, and it will tell you exactly where to place your stop based on the measured move and how the candles are moving at that moment. Because if you're like, oh, I'm only going to risk 2 points here, guess what? That 2 points would get hit, right? You have to adapt with market conditions and understand how the market's moving at that point. What are your top 3 rules? My top 3 rules: 1, follow the plan, be patient, and be disciplined. That's my top 3 trading rules for anything. But for the algo, I have a nice little list, and that it's in the Discord actually. If you go into the Discord channel and then you click on the algo section, all the rules for the algo is there. I have the same rules for stocks, like slightly modified, but essentially when I'm trading the algo, I always wait for it to break through my entry price. So if it says 12.96 here, right, I'd place it 1 tick below. That way I avoid double top bottoms situations or double top situations, and then I ride it through. That would consider my entry. For the ES, I don't trade candles over 10 points because it's not worth it for me. Because you have to risk a good amount to have that, and that risk profile doesn't match up. And then when I back test it as well, anytime ES exceeds 10 points in one candle, I have seen that the market tends to bounce back a little bit and tends to chop around or make a full reversal. So that's why I don't like to trade anything over 10 points, and that's the case today, right? I'll show you 1 second. Let me pull this to the side. Let me pull up the ES charts real quick. So this is the ES charts, right? This candle right here, we got an alert on it, but I didn't get in on it. For why though? It measured out to 10.25 points. So broke one of my rules. If it's over 10 points, I'm not getting in. And having discipline while trading is super important, right? So it's over 10 points. I didn't get in, and guess what? Now I'm happy because guess what? I would be taking a loss right now, right? Obviously, it can still come down, but that's something I will consider if it does reverse. If it comes all the way up here and then comes down, that's another entry point for re-entry. But right now, this is something I would not get into. That's why you didn't see me get into it. But again, these red lines, your stop losses. Green lines, your take profit levels. Yeah, man, I try to make trading as easy as possible. Like, there's no reason to overcomplicate it. I mean, everything that went into the algo was complicated, but I made it so that it comes into a simple system. That was the hard part. That was the biggest challenge. But even with the reversals, like a lot of people are over analyzing things like, oh, I have to look at this wick, I have to look at this price, I have to look at everything. And I'm like, dude, just give it a second, wait for the candle to finish, and then enter. I always let the candles finish before I enter because for me, that's always been the proper method where it gives me proper entries. I'm okay with giving up that extra tick of profit just so that, hey, I can secure myself in a good move and not avoid a lot more bad moves. Let me see what else you guys have been saying. Um, I agree with Chuck's rules as well. Yeah, dude, the FOMO thing is real. Like, don't ever chase it just because you have FOMO on something. And Chris, yeah, have one rule: never lose. I mean, that'd be nice, right? If we could all follow that. Oh, thank you, AJ. So the thing with Heikinashi is, right, if you're a price action trader, you're probably gonna hate Heikinashi. Yes, that's true, but it's gonna be a bit slower. But guess what? You're gonna get in on better moves. For me, I'm more okay with giving up that extra little tick or point and get in on a proper move than using regular candles and then being tricked into entering a move that's not actually a real move. Heikinashi acts as an extra confirmation, so that's why I use it. Chuck, dude, that's the proper way to do it. I used to have like post-it notes all over my computers and with all my rules, but then lately, ever since I've been moving everything around, they kind of fell off. But now it's just like mentally installed in my head, right? Yeah, Jeff, I agree. Like, everyone has a different method of trading, and it's what you understand and what you can actually profit with. That's what matters. Are you able to find profit with it? If you have a system and you're not finding profit with it, well, guess what? That ain't a system. But if you have a system and you're making money from it, guess what? That's valid then. That's why I always tell the people like, dude, there's a million ways to make money in the market. You just have to find the one way that works for you. Yeah, I have the candles on the side as well. Like if you see my other screen, like I'll have the candles just to understand regular things that are happening. But I stick with Heikinashis all for my entries and exit just because it's I don't know. I've gotten so used to it. I understand it properly. Because and another thing with the Heikinashi is like when you're confirming it for a strong sell side, you want it to have, so in this case, no wick on top, right? For a sell candle, look at like a down candle or red candle. There's no wick on top, meaning sellers are in control this whole time. That's a good indication. Second is the delta. That's super nice to see. Like I would never enter on this spinning top or doji because that means price can reverse at any point. But I would enter at the break of this candle. Even if I didn't have the delta up, I would still enter on the break of this candle because it's a strong indication. And guess what? Today it was, right? I really got into Heikinashi to when I was trading more stocks and I was swing trading them. When you're swing trading with the Heikinashi, man, dude, chart reading is super simple. Like it is unreal how easy it gets to understand a chart. Obviously, you will have those days where it gets choppy. Obviously, and with chop, it doesn't matter if you have regular candles or Heikinashi. It's gonna mess you up a little bit. That's why you gotta avoid it. Oh, you're welcome, Chuck. I'm glad you learned, man. Like, that really makes me happy to hear. Like, it really does. Like, all you guys saying that you guys learned something and it's been helping you guys out, it really does feel good for that. And yeah, dude, that one tick rule has definitely changed up my trading a lot. Like, I've been using that one tick rule for a long time. Even with stocks, dude, like, I don't enter just because I saw an alert. I always have it like break above this, confirm that the move is there, and then I get into it. Oh, thanks, Chug. Yeah, man, I'm just here to do what I can to help other people out. That's why I spent so much time creating that course. I'm gonna add more stuff to it probably this week or next week. Or maybe I'll actually just make a futures course to actually make people understand what futures are about. Because I made a course about what trading is about and everything, but I think understanding what futures is probably more important to a good amount of people, as a lot more people are getting into futures. Jeff, the futures algo, there's a bot. No, that is my bot, dude. That so what I did was all my alerts that I get on my screen, I have it automatically transferred over to the Discord so that you guys can see them as well. So all the algo alerts that you get from, like, you see, if you wanted to look on that, right? So this alert came around like 10:25, right? So at 10:30 you should be seeing that. I am charging for the algo. That way you can use it for real-time alerts and you can use it on any market. But I just put those alerts up, and sometimes with those alerts, they kind of get delayed sometimes. But that way people can enter and use them. That's why. Because you need to understand and actually look at your charts and understand where you're going to take profits, right? Is you're oh, yeah, you might get the alert, but where do you know where to place your stop and where do you know how to take your stop, like take profit, right? The alert won't tell you that. You have to see on the charts itself, like, yeah, it'll tell you, oh, you're gonna short at 3501.50, but where do I take my profit? Where do I put my stop loss? The main reason that those alerts are there is for the people that already have the algo and they just want text alerts to their phone already, for the people that trade ES and NQ and some stocks. That way it just pops up on their phone to make their life easier. Because I know setting up alerts and everything, and sometimes with TradingView you might need a premium account to set up like more than like 10 alerts. So that's why I did that, just to make people's life easier so that they can save some money as well. Because I'm already paying for the premium version completely. So I have the ability to set up like 400 alerts and I can just transfer it to the Discord channel as soon as they come. The website took me a while, man. I designed that completely by myself. I was like learning just by watching YouTube videos, going back and forth. It was it was quite some stress, to be honest. Like, there's some days I was like, screw this. I was like, I just put it to the side, and then like I just kept going at it, picking at it every day, and it started getting better and better. But I appreciate that you like that, man. The fact that you say it's pretty clean, I like that. That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be chopping around. That's why I'm just waiting it out to see what's happening. Because you never know. Like, we end up getting like a nice drop, and if that happens, you know, this could be a continuation right here. So move to the downside. Because it'd be a four candle pullback and then drop. That'll be interesting. And the best part about the algo is it works on all markets, right? Forex, stocks, futures, Bitcoin, anything that has a chart, it'll work on. You just have to use it through TradingView. TradingView's platform is because that's where it was built on, but other than that, yeah. So the thing with Tradevate is I can't control it after it's out there, right? That's the issue. With TradingView, it lets me control who has access to it and everything, and that's why I can offer it. Because if not, then I would have to charge like a ridiculous price for it because it'd be a one-time fee thing, and I don't think that's really fair to a lot of people that are starting out. With TradingView, everything's controlled and everything's nice and easy. That's why I like it, and you can set up alerts. Tradevate, the alerts you can't really set up, and you'd be sitting in front of your screen all the time. It's like that's one of the downsides, right? That's why right now I'm just keeping it on TradingView because it makes life easy. And if you have a Tradevate account, you can link it to your TradingView account. They have that option. So that's what I've actually, a lot of people didn't know that, and a lot of people started doing that now, and they're super happy that I told them about that. You can legit trade right on TradingView. You can use Tradestation or you can use Tradevate, whichever one. They have some other brokers as well. They have AMP Global if you guys use them. There's a good amount of brokers available to be integrated with the TradingView platform. Yeah, Chuck, I use TradeStation for all my stock stuff. And then this is how I split it up, right? For anytime I'm investing in stocks, I use TradeStation. Whenever I'm investing in futures, I use Tradevate, like you guys see right here. When I'm investing in options, I use E-Trade. Those are my top three. Thinkorswim is nice because it has those scanners and stuff, but then I'm like, ever since I built this out, I have no use for those scanners because I have my own set list of stocks and I just kind of do that. Yeah, TradeStation, you can chat with them anytime. I think same thing with E-Trade. E-Trade's customer service is super good too. They like explain it to me exactly how everything works, and I like that. With Tradeovate, I haven't really ever talked to their customer service, so I don't know. I never had those issues with them. I've had issues with Top Step sometimes, like messing up because like their data feed was messed up or something. But other than that, Tradeovate itself, I never actually contact them. So when you're doing the Top Step Combine, um, you're not paying an extra fee. everything's covered within that fee that you're paying already. So you're not going to pay CME, that extra data fee or anything like that. But once you pass the combine, you have an option of, hey, you can do the pro account that they have where they cover the fees, but then you have to go through the combine one more time. Not like you don't have to do it twice, but you just have to do it one more time. And essentially saying earn them another $3,000 more in another simulation, right? Because the combine is normally 2 times, right? You have to earn 3,000 one time, 3,000 another time, and then with you have step 1, step 2, but then with the pro account, you just need to do it one more time, and then they'll take care of the fees. But then if you don't want to do that and you're like, hey, just give me the money now, I want to trade and get some real money in my pocket now, you do have to pay that CME fee. I think it was like ranged around like 150. I think that's pretty normal. How much are fees for per month? So after you pass the combine, they don't charge you anything except unless you just want to do, you know, the CME data fee, right? That's gonna charge you, I think, around 150 or so. Like that's the one thing I like about Top Step is like once you pass the combine, you don't pay Top Step a fee. You just pay the regular CME data fee that you'd pay with pretty much most brokers. But the one way around it is to do that pro account thing with Top Step and just do the combine one more time and pass that, and then you're good, right? We want to make a reversal. I think some sellers to step in, which is nice. The setup is like a nice little, 4 candle pullback, which is decent. Yeah, man, that's what I that's why I always have this big mug coffee, right? Most prop trading firms, dude, like they charge a good amount. I think Top Step was pretty fair with their pricing, to be honest. Especially for the futures market because it's a lot easier to reach those price targets and those profit levels, right? If you're most, I know some of the prop trading firms do like stocks and everything. It takes a lot longer because they move slower. But yeah, like Chuck said, there is that earn to trade. I never used it. I don't know anything about it, so I can't say much. Top Step is legit, guys. That I know because I personally trade it, but their customer service is good as well, actually. Let me check out Earn It Trade's website real quick. Let's see what they're about. So I'm on the Earn to Trades website right now, and I'm comparing it with Top Step. Top Step is literally cheaper too. I'm looking at their 50K account for both, right? Because Top Step's 50K account goal is 3,000. So is this Earn to Trade people, and then their trailing drawdown is up to 2,000. That's their max drawdown. Again, same thing as Top Step. The only difference is their daily loss limit is 1,100 and Top Step is 1,000. So yeah, they Earn to Trade gives you $100 more of a daily loss limit, and you can trade up to 6 contracts. And they charge you 170 per month, while Top Step charges you 165 per month. So I think you guys can make the decision yourself right there, right? In my personal opinion, if I saw both of these, I would have stuck with Top Step. Not just because I'm already funded by Top Step. It's like right now, you guys know I'm not an affiliate or anything, right? Like I'm just giving you purely my opinions. Oh, did he start out with that? Okay. Ay, 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 this chop. I think Top Step has multiple brokers that you can use. It's not just the Top Step Trader or Tradevate platform. You can use other platforms, I believe. Enzo, I always trade with minis. I don't ever really touch micros. Oh, and in Top Step, you can trade micros or minis. They have the option for both. But it's just easier to trade minis because then you're allowed to hit that profit much faster, right? Oh, my opinion on the Tradestation platform, dude, I've not once opened that thing because like one time I opened it, I was like, nope. All I wanted Tradestation for was to trade on TradingView. That way I can just place my orders on TradingView itself for all my stocks. And that's the only reason I like TradeStation is because they're integrated with TradingView, and TradingView super easy. See, the thing with these all these big platforms is like TradeStation, Thinkorswim, and all these guys is like they're good for their scanners. But I'm not a person that needs to scan for stocks or anything. I trade the same set of stocks that I have the list of. I did my research, made a nice list, and then those are the ones I stick to and I trade. Once I get the alert from them, I get in. If I don't get an alert for them, guess what? I'm not in the trade. Yeah, dude. For futures, Tradevate, I love it. Super simple. Some of the settings I still don't. Navigation is kind of annoying, but I think that's just because I got so used to all the other platforms. It's like when you guys ask me those setting questions, and I'm like, shit, I don't know. He's like, whenever we were asking about the volume or whatever, right? I end up watching on YouTube videos, or I'll ask like somebody else and see if they can help me out, and I'll set it up. But once I have things set up, it's not really something I change too much. Yeah, dude, TradingView is probably my favorite like charting platform ever. It is so simple to use, and like I love the customization aspect of it. I don't have to be stuck with those, you know, basic colors. Like even this, right? This is like all this gray. TradingView, I like having that black background where colors pop more. So it's like I don't know. I like playing around with TradingView a lot. Oh, dude, if TradingView brings in brackets, it's like game over. That's like the one platform I'd be using 24/7 then. You know what? I know the way TradingView works. They go based on requests. So I think I will put in like a little support ticket, be like, hey, can we get some brackets involved? And I think once they get enough cases saying that they want brackets, they'll actually do it. Because that's what I heard from them. They're like, oh, we go based on like what the people want, and if the people say that they're asking for it a lot, then we end up doing it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And yeah, so I think today I'll give them like a little email or open up a support ticket, be like, hey, can we add brackets to TradingView? I'm really hoping that we can catch a little move where it kind of just pumps down, right? It has hit that resistance and support level, you know, that key level, and kind of just bounced off again. So it's holding underneath. So if we can push down and get a nice alert, that would be pretty cool with me. That's something I wouldn't mind getting in on. Yeah, for real, Chuck. Everyone that uses TradingView should definitely ask. That way we can get it, right? What is your take on options trading on the indexes? Any thoughts? I like it. Because if the thing with options is a lot of people think that they need to be trading a lot of different stocks and everything, but me personally, I stuck to a nice little short list, and I like my tech stocks and I like the QQQ, and that's where I'll be trading those options. And when I do trade options, most times now, I've shifted away from regular call options and regular put options, and I kind of just do all debit spreads or whatever you call it, like call verticals, whichever one that you like to say, but they're the same thing. He's like, that way I know it's like a secured profit, and I kind of just have them like long term, not long term, but like for an option, I guess would be long term, like hold it for the week or hold it for 2 weeks because I know, hey, the price should be above this and hold it above, right? And it's very easy to understand with, especially with tech stocks, right? Apple and Amazon. If you find the right move, guess what? You're pretty much, you know, the price is gonna hold above it. Like I'll show you a good example right now. Like what I personally use myself is, you know, I use the algo and everything. And with stocks, I kind of only go for buy alerts only. I don't really look to short stocks because 90% of the time the market is going up. So I'm not gonna fight that because like, since the beginning of time, the market's been going up, right? So this is a nice little picture on Amazon 1 hour chart. Like if I get my alert, I would buy a call debit spread with the options right as closest to in the money as possible. And then I'd be like, I'd hold it like a week or 2 weeks out, and I'll just collect money on the spread. I've never traded options overnight. I don't know if that was a thing. I've always traded in the morning session, man. I've never really looked at stocks or anything overnight, or QQQ or the index overnight either. I don't know if trading options overnight is actually allowed, to be honest. I don't think it is. I think if you wanted to do that, you might have to be with a broker that's like international, because that way you can trade under their, like index and everything. But yeah, I don't know if you could trade QQQ overnight. I've never done it, and I don't think I ever would, even if that was an option, to be honest. But yeah, like Amazon, right? I would take a call debit spread right here in the money, and then because I know it's like, hey, this should hold above it because when I got the alert, it should be popping off. And this was on October 7th. And if I went for a week out, say like 7 days or something, right? I don't remember when the week ended or whatnot, but the whole point is go a week out, go 2 weeks out, you'd be in the money. You could collect all your profit because you know, hey, this was pumping up. You knew that move was there, and you could honestly take it out early, especially if it pumped like this. And tech stocks and everything like that, like they pump. They always get a nice little pump. Let's see. We get some selling pressure. It'd be nice. How's the 1 hour doing in the ES? Let me check. I think we were still in that range situation, right? Yeah, it's slowly coming down. You know what would be nice? A nice bull flag pattern on the 1 hour charts. That would be kind of insane. Like I'm looking right now, right? We got the alerts down here. They wrote out perfectly in the 1 hour charts. Now we're slowly trending down. And this is a perfect example of why we always go for that one tick above. Because if I just saw the alert and got in, boom, I would have failed. I would have got hit, it'd go down, it would reverse on me. That's why that one tick is super important. But yeah, 1 hour, it's kind of just trending. Nice move up, and it's deserved this pullback. This is a well-deserved pullback. And by the way, guys, like the algo isn't something that you're gonna win 100% of the time on. That I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not one of those people that has to lie about that stuff or market to people. Be like, hey, like look at this. It's a system that works majority of the time, a win rate about like 80%, 85%, and then yeah. But that risk management really helps you with a lot. The best ever trading for options on the indexes is TD Ameritrade. You can set entries and exits directly to the queues. Yeah, man, you can do that with any option platform, Jim. I can do that in E-Trade as well, but E-Trade, that UI, the interface that they use is much better, in my opinion, right? Because Thinkorswim has that, you know, non-updated platform, and that's something, you gotta watch out for, but I like something more visually appealing, and E-Trade, the Power E-Trade, dude, super simple. And you can analyze all your strategies just with a click of a button like that. I love it. I think the only benefit for options in Thinkorswim is the active trader. I think you can enter on options trades on a dome, I believe, if I'm not wrong. But that's for like high frequency options trading. Okay, can we get some selling to come in? Like, come on, what's happening? I'm gonna step away just for a minute, guys. Just want to get up, stretch, and just walk around a little bit. I'll be back in a second. And yeah, check. I'm waiting for those elections to be over as well. Are you sure, Jim? Let me check. Let me see if I can open up E-Trade real quick, if that's an option. I really thought on E-Trade you're allowed to. Yeah, I might be wrong. Let me just check. That way I can confirm. Come on, man. These markets are annoying. You know? I think in E-Trade it was an option because I really feel like I've done that before. But I'm just kind of confused on how to get there again. In the regular web platform. Yeah. So you can do it on E-Trade. It's you just have to make your order type. It's a stop on quote. So whenever E-Trade like that, say QQQ hits a certain price, when you use stop on quote, then you set your stop price and then you can enter. Yeah, but E-Trade you can. I just saw it. It's literally just a stop on price or stop on quote. That's what it's called. I mean, I don't know the exact advantages of Thinkorswim, man. Like, I don't really like using it too much. E-Trade has done everything I needed it to do, so that's just me, right? Your type of trading might be different, so you'd have to measure it out. So it is tempting to try to get in right here, but Delta is pushing up, which is kind of weird. But NQ is starting to push as well. Yeah, that's the thing. Since we are chopping around like this, I don't feel comfortable with anything. It's like a slow channel to the downside. It's very like uh, tempting. But we have again that 3,500 level is right there as well. That's my thing. There's a lot of people buying up at 3,500, so we might see bouncing back and forth right there as well. I will not get in on this. I don't care if it works in towards the algo's favor. I for some reason it just doesn't feel right. And the delta's pushing up as well, which is super weird. It's like even when you get like red delta bars, right? You don't want it to be pointing to the upside. You don't want to see it building up. You want to see it building down. If it could make a second reversal at that support, that would be pretty nice. Again, I'd be looking for the same thing there, right? Essentially, same thing to happen would be, Heikin-Ashi confirmation, nice big green candle on the Heikin-Ashi. You got the delta bar confirming. Price broke above, past couple candles as well. So, nice indication. Yeah, people trying to pile up at 3,500 now. Yeah, other day it was all the sellers trying to stop buyers from going up, and now it's the buyers trying to hold. But like 200 orders just disappeared out of nowhere. And even more now. Guess they don't care about 3,500. Because if we do get like a random amount of big sellers stepping in, we could hit the Algo's targets. Because it is holding, right? It's just my personal thing not to trade anything over 10, but it still works out sometimes. Like right now, that first target is at 34.91, second target's at 34.81, and 34.71 would be the third target. And essentially, you know, if you follow the system, you would have got in here, but obviously 10-point candle, that's a no-no. But it's still holding under our stops, right? So that's very interesting to see. We might get a good drop, maybe middle of the day today. So it'll be interesting to see. That will be. Yeah, man, these markets, I just feel like it's better to wait, right? Like yesterday, I sat here and no trade happened, but hey, that's okay. Once you get over that feeling that you have to trade every day, that's when you see a big change, right? Trying to push down a little bit. Okay, this is cool. Let's see how it reacts to that key level. I wish I caught this one. I should have paid attention to that one more. That matched my reversal setup properly. Oh well. Because even if I caught that one, I would just stop trading for the day and call it. And then just look at some of my stocks and stuff, but that's about it. And you guys know I have to do this. Please do hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Anyone here watch Ed Bassmaster on YouTube? If not, I highly recommend it. Dude does the funniest pranks. Oh, never checked him out. I'll check. I'll check him out though. Let's see. Let me see what he's about. Let me see what type of pranks he's doing. This market kind of sucks. I mean, I'll check out a video or two and see if I like them. I mean, that's what I've been doing. I'm kind of just looking at everything else. Like, I think having the stream on definitely helps with that. Being able to talk to you guys. A little bit of a nice distraction when markets are like this. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. I don't really like trading past 12 normally anyway. So it's like, we'll see. Let's see if we break through that double bottom situation that happened before. Oh, this is slow. Broke through it. About to get close to our level. Okay. We get a nice bounce. Okay, just hit that level. Let's see how we react. Bounced off pretty nicely. Bounced off 3 points real quick. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a reversal action. Maybe a potential move for a reversal. We'll see. We shall see. And these are the days when people love the NQ, because NQ is probably moving a bit faster, right? Let me check it out. Yeah. So NQ made some good moves for sure. Nice delta coming in. Okay, we might continue this move. Interesting. Seller stepping in. This, yeah, I think this might just break through that level and completely, and now might just enter a nice little sell-off. Broke through that previous pivot low. Let's see if we can hold below it. That's a strong delta. Close to that take profit level 1, right? I'll leave this up for a little bit. Let's see how well we perform on it. Let's see how well it hits those targets. Let's see. And we do know that those take profit levels is where price tends to bounce sometimes, so we'll see how well it reacts. Broke through that level 1. Let's see if it can hit level 2. At this point, I can't do anything, so I'm just gonna let it be. Let's see how far do we want to go. Yeah, it broke through hard, so obviously we're not going to be looking for a reversal when it breaks through hard like that. Those reversal plays are mainly when it bounces around that support line and then we get nice buyers to step in. But in this case, pushing, so I'll let it push. I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go heat something up real quick and then come back. Let's see, maybe in the next like 10 minutes, this can just completely tank. Yeah, Chris, I will see you tomorrow. I'm kind of interested to see. I would like to see it push nicely. That'd be nice. Hit all 3 targets on the algo, that'd be beautiful. Is 3446 one of your targets? No. 3446 is not one of my targets. My third take profit level is at 3471. So this line at the bottom right here would be my last take profit level. And that's at 3471.25. The second one is at 3481.25, and then third one's at 3491.50. Let's see. And honestly, since this move kind of happened and we're not going to be looking for that reversal, I might honestly just take a break from this and then go eat some lunch. This is just going. Maybe my pivots. One of my pivots level is at 3474, but then the next pivot. Yeah, my lowest pivot for the day is at 3452.44. But 3446 is not one of my levels, so we'll see. Hey man, if it can drop down that much, that'll be pretty insane. Make sure all my cancel all. Cool. But yeah, you guys are still trading, man. Wish you the best of luck. Bring in those profits, but I think I'm gonna just call it a day for now. Maybe pop back in later. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day.